So let me start this off by saying that I'm sorry I haven't done one of these in a very long time, but a lot has changed. One of the biggest changes that has happened recently is the fact that we have transmog now. That gave us so much freedom with the armor sets that we can wear, like the one that you're seeing here in the background now. By the way, if you would like to check out that video, there will be an annotation popping up in the top right corner now. So with transmog and the season of the splicer ornaments, armors, and shaders, let's take a look and see what is the current Destiny 2 fashion meta. Remember to stick around till the end of the video where I give out the amazing prize that is the seal of approval, and I kinda go over why I think that Guardian stands out above the other 5. Remember to do all of that typical YouTube stuff like subscribe and hitting that like button, and as always, I am Muffin Bandit and I'm here to stop you from looking like this dude right here, and instead, looking like Reddit user Demogrim and his Siva Fallen Travix. So let's start off with his gear. For his head, he's wearing the Lycan helm from Season 14 activities. For his arms, he has on the Syntheseps with the Flex Enhanced Replicate ornament from the Eververse store. For his chest, he has on the Devastation Complex, that is a random drop now. For his legs, he's using the Star-Crossed Footsteps from the Eververse store. It is a classic to use for Siva builds. For his mark, he's using the Interlaced mark from the Season 14 Season Pass. For his shaders, he's using Bloody Tooth on his head and his chest, Amethyst Veil on his arms, and Carminica on his legs and his mark. Bloody Tooth can sometimes drop from Bright Engrams, Amethyst Veil comes around in the Eververse store every so often, and Carminica is from a Crucible quest. So I'm not going to lie to you, this is probably going to be one of the only looks that you're going to be able to use that helmet with. I don't foresee a lot of people using that helmet just because it is really freaking ugly. But Demogrim just makes it work, especially with all of the Siva gear, including that interlaced mark, which we talked about in this Season of the Splicer ornament video. I mean, that mark was just basically asking to be used in a Siva build, am I right? And how could I not pick this if someone is using that Flex Enhanced Replicate ornament for the Syntheseps? I love that ornament, I use it every freaking day that I play Destiny 2. And of course, I rock it myself for my own Siva Titan, but Demogrim, you did a wonderful job at creating this like fallen Siva Kel creature thing. It's very unique and I appreciate that people are still thinking outside the box. I should also mention that Demogrim did an amazing job with these screenshots that you're seeing here in the background. I love when people go the extra mile and take screenshots to match their looks. And now we move on to Gingy, who won the last seal of approval in episode 16, but this time she's bringing us a hunter. This is just one of the cleanest hunters that I have ever seen. So for her head, she has on the Mask of the Great Hunt from the last Wish raid. For her arm, she has on R3's Embrace from soloing Lost Sectors. For her chest, she has on the Celestial Cuirass from the Eververse store. For her legs, she has on the Virtuous Strides from the Season 8 Season Pass. For her cloak, she has on the Cloak of the Great Hunt from the last Wish raid. For her shader, she has on Satu Tribe on almost everything except for her cloak, which has Bitter Pearl. Satu Tribe can drop randomly from dismantling Black Armory armor that now randomly drops. And of course, you earn Bitter Pearl from collecting all of the little shards in the Vault of Glass raid. I had no idea that the Satu Tribe can make your armor look so freaking clean. The blue has a nice matte shine to it, the white has no scratches, no smudges, it's just pure clean white on it, and it makes all of the lines on the R3's Embrace look so crisp and clean. One thing that I can't really explain is the fact that this Huntress looks kind of small, don't you think? I don't know if it's the armor, if it's the colors, if it's the picture, I really can't tell. It's also a nice touch how the glow from the Celestial Cuirass also balances out with the glow from the Virtuous Strides, and to add on to that, her hand cannon also matches her look very well. Great job as always, Gingy, and now let's move on to the first Warlock of the bunch. Now, my jaw immediately dropped whenever I saw this Warlock for the first time. I believe it was like the second submission we had for this video, and I knew that people were going to combine the Cuirass of the Hazen Lords along with the Path to Convergence ornament, but I didn't know that they would do this with it. So even though black and red is a very common combo whenever it comes to Destiny 2, I didn't expect people to use it with the Hazen Lord robes. I expected people to use more of the default color, maybe some silvers, or any of the other Vex shaders that we have. I just love the way all of these different armor pieces come together to make this like evil looking warlock. One thing that Steigen either discovered or got from somewhere else is the fact that the Hood of the Great Hunt from the Last Wish raid just pairs so perfectly with these robes that I really don't see myself using any other combo. I'm going to absolutely use this for my own warlock. One thing that I briefly mentioned whenever we were talking about Jinji's Hunter here a second ago is the fact that you have to balance out your glows whenever you end up making armor sets. Like, you can't just have a glow on your legs and then nowhere else. And Steigen here has that glow on his Transversive Steps ornament, but he ends up balancing it out with the Forbidden Visage Bond. One thing that you could maybe complain a little bit about is the fact that the Transversive Steps ornament does have a little bit of a red glow going on in the knees, but I would say that the shader on the robes does help balance that out a lot more just because it is a very bright red, and you also do have that like bright red spot going on in the Hood of the Great Hunt, which kind of makes it look like it also has a glow almost. One thing that I think makes these channeling wraps from the Prophecy Dungeon work so well with the robes is actually the pattern on the right leg. It kind of has like a bunch of lines shooting outward, which the channeling wraps have that like armor piece that shoots outward, and I think that kind of balances that out. And of course it's all very cohesive because he's only using one shader, which is going to be Carbon Blood from the Eververse store. But anyway, thank you very much Steigen for submitting your warlock. It looks amazing, and now let's move on to our very last hunter of the day. Next up we have another returning guardian, which is ORYX, and he's bringing his hunter. The biggest reason why I chose this is because it shows off two new things in the fashion meta. One of those popular combos is the combination of using Star Eater skills from soloing Lost Sectors and the Vest of the Great Hunt, which you get from the Last Wish raid. So one of the reasons that these two work so well together is because of that pattern. So Star Eaters has all of those like kind of like stripes or whatever that pattern is going on in the thigh/crotch area. That kind of matches up very well with the pattern going on in the waist area of the Last Wish chest. And not to mention that these two also shade well together, so any shader that will work well with the Star Eaters also works for the Vest of the Great Hunt. So if you're looking for a good pairing for your new Star Eater skills, that is a great place to start. The second thing that ORYX kind of helps show off here is the pairing between the Lightkin Greaves from the Season 14 activities and the Mantle of Ephrodite from the Iron Banner. A lot of the Lightkin armor has all this fur to it, which we've been asking for a very long time, so a lot of people have been pairing that with other pieces of armor that have fur, like for example the Mantle of Ephrodite. And what that does is it makes your hunter look a lot more royal, and what ORYX did is take it a step further by adding the Mask of the Great Hunt. And I'm sure any number of shaders would work for this look, but ORYX decided to use the Canis Cloak shader from the Iron Banner to kind of give all of the inner pieces a lot more of a leather look to them, which gives it almost a Louis Vuitton kind of vibe to it, further kind of adding onto that whole like regal type of aesthetic that he's got going on. Thank you very much ORYX for submitting your hunter. As always, you do an amazing job, but now let's move on to our next guardian. Next up on the chopping block we have user/carries on Fishord? Carries on Fishord? Carries on Fishord? I don't know how to say your name, man. But for your head, you have on the Iron Remembrance Helm from the Iron Banner. For your arms, you have on Titan's Ramparts that are a random drop. For your chest, you have on the Scorned Barren Plate that is also a random drop now. For your legs, you have on the Dreambane Greaves from the Moon. For your mark, you have on the Christocrine mark from Europa. And for your shader, you have on Valkyrie 0 on everything, and Valkyrie 0 dropped from a quest in Season 10. So there are a good amount of things that I like about this Titan. One of the main things I like about it is the little ties on the Christocrine mark match very well with like whatever is tying down the blades on Titan's Ramparts. If you've ever struggled to make the Iron Remembrance Helm work for you, then the Scorned Barren Plate is just a perfect chest plate for this. I really don't even like the Iron Remembrance chest plate with this helmet. This helmet is just so freaking hard to work with. I'm actually pretty surprised that someone made it happen. And that Scorned Barren Plate works out because it has all of those blades attached to it, which of course matches perfectly with the blades on Titan's Ramparts. Another thing that I enjoy about this Titan is it's not boring. Like, it's using Valkyrie 0, it's not just some boring like black and and red combo or some pure white guardian. So yeah, it's very refreshing to see at least a little bit of orange thrown in there. And except for the colors, he definitely gives off a like Shredder from Ninja Turtles kind of vibe, doesn't he? So if you are one of those guardians that are rocking Titan's Ramparts for PvP, this would be a good look for you, aside from of course the Sunbreaker Titan that I've made in this video here. Alright, moving on from Carrie's amazing Titan, we're going to go ahead and go over to our last guardian of the day, which is going to be from SnipaDeSnipa. So this time Snipa is bringing us a noble Vagabond. For his head, he has on the Illicit Collector hood from Gambit Prime. For his arms, he has on the Legatus gloves from the Season 13 Season Pass. For his chest, he has on the Pyrrhic Ascent vestment from the Trials of Osiris. For his legs, he has on the boots of the Assembler, which are from the Solo Lost Sectors. For the bond, he has on the Blood Lineage bond from the Festival of the Lost. For his shaders, he has on Gambit leather on almost everything except for his bond, which he has on Mercury Vex Chrome. Gambit leather you get from dismantling Gambit armor pieces, I believe. Mercury Vex Chrome you get from Bright Engrams. Snipa's Warlock just kind of looks like a wanderer of some sort. He definitely goes from like town to town, just doing whatever bounty comes along his way. He also looks like the type of person that would just like always hang out at those like rusty old taverns. Some of the things that end up working out for Snipa's Warlock, for example, are the boots of the Assembler, because they do have a little bit of straps to them, or at least look like they have a bunch of straps on them. And the Pyrrhic robes kind of have a couple straps going around the chest area, and that helps kind of sell that whole like he's a wanderer, he just uses whatever he can to kind of like get by and to do all the jobs that he has to do. Everything that he has on him is like practical, and he really only uses like armor pieces maybe that he's like found along the way, nothing too like fancy or shiny. Also, there's a good amount of first here, so I haven't really seen a lot of people actually use the boots of the Assembler all too well. The Trials robes, for example, I haven't seen people really use them without the glow. And I haven't really seen that illicit hood in like a good amount of seasons now. Everything just fits together very naturally and nothing looks out of place in this. It definitely looks like it was shipped like this from Bungie to be one whole armor set. And now that we've seen all 6 of our guardians for this video, let's go ahead and start judging who gets the seal of approval. So let's just go ahead and bring up our 6 guardians from before. Look how pretty they look. So right off the bat, every single one of these deserves to be up here and looks amazing, but I think I'm going to go ahead and remove Carrie's Titan and ORYX's Hunter. So in Carrie's case, I have seen a Titan look like this before. I believe it was a Shredder cosplay over on Reddit. And in ORYX's case, even though it is a very good looking hunter and he's using a unique shader with it, I have seen a little bit of hunters that already kind of use that same combo, so that's why I'm removing him. And now the choices get harder. Let's see. I think I'm going to have to remove Snipa's Warlock from this one. I know I praised him for using like a different type of shader except for black and red, but compared to the other 4, it just doesn't stand out as much. I think I'm going off of pure instinct here, but if I were to close my eyes and then open them back up, my eyes would immediately gravitate towards either the blue armor on Gingy's Hunter or the reds on either the Titan or the other Warlock. Sorry, Snipa, I have to vote you off the island. So this is where it starts to get a lot harder to choose. If you guys didn't know, I kind of do this as I record. I don't really have a preset plan of who's going to win. So from these 3 guardians, I think I have to eliminate the Siva Fallen next, just because I can see myself actually using Gingy's Hunter on my own Hunter, and that Warlock looks so amazing, and I think I'm actually going to end up using that on my own Warlock. And while that Siva Titan is very unique, and it's very refreshing to see someone make such a unique cosplay, I don't think I would actually wear it myself, so that's why I have to eliminate it. So at this point, either Stygian or Gingy could win, and I would be absolutely happy and content with that, but I have to choose one, and I think I'm gonna end up choosing Stygian's Warlock. I would definitely use both of these in my everyday fashion, but it is a very rare sight to be blown away by a Warlock. Warlock fashion can be very boring at times, and it's very refreshing, and it makes me very happy to see a Warlock kind of just blow me away. So, Mr. Stygian, I hope I am pronouncing your name right. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. You can kind of grill me in the comments below, but congratulations, the seal of approval goes to you. You can absolutely bet that you're going to see me using this exact look for my own Warlock, and I might even have to buy that freaking transversive step ornament from the Eververse store. But anyway, that's the video, everyone. I'm sorry it took me so long to make it. These videos do take a lot longer to edit than my builds or anything that I do with like my shorts. If you guys disagreed with my decision on who won the seal of approval, please let me know in the comments down below and let me know which Guardian you think should have won. Always remember that fashion is subjective and is purely based on opinion, so don't be mean to any of the Guardians that you saw today just because your Guardian didn't get chosen. Don't be a sore loser. If you guys would like to see some more Destiny 2 fashion, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and go ahead and browse the channel for more Destiny fashion videos. Like this video right here. If you guys would like to participate in the next Destiny 2 fashion showcase, or you would like to participate in one of our many weekend contests, go ahead and click the link down below to join my Discord server. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and Guardians, as always, stay beautiful.